Welcome to the Technical Writing Success video overview by Senior Technical Writer Kurt Robbins. So let's just jump right into it with a huge question. How does a company even do that? It sounds kind of crazy, right? But believe it or not, that's exactly what Google's parent company, Alphabet, just pulled off. We're going to break down how they absolutely smashed records with their latest earnings report. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at that historic headline. Then we're going to crunch the numbers to see what's going on under the hood. After that, we'll dig into the real engine behind all this growth, see how they're pouring money back in for the future, and finally, what Wall Street thinks about the whole thing. All right, first up, let's really zero in on the headline here. The one big thing you need to know from Alphabet's latest report. And honestly, it's a number that just puts them in a whole new league. $102.35 billion. Just let that sink in. For the very first time, they blew past the $100 billion mark for a single quarter. We're talking about a really, really exclusive club here. And it's not like they just scraped by. That's a 16% jump from last year. That is some serious momentum. Okay, so where is all this cash coming from? Let's pop the hood and see what parts of the business are really driving this thing forward. One of the biggest stories here has to be Google Cloud. It was an absolute superstar this quarter, pulling in over $15 billion all by itself. It's really becoming a massive pillar for the entire company. And this chart really tells the story, doesn't it? Look at that jump. We're not just talking about steady growth here. The cloud business absolutely exploded, rocketing up 34% compared to the exact same time last year. That's just wild. And here's what's so impressive. It wasn't just one part of the business carrying the team. They beat Wall Street's predictions pretty much across the board. Total revenue? Beat it. Google Cloud? Beat it. Even YouTube ads came in stronger than anyone expected. A total sweep. Okay, so we've seen the what, but now for the really interesting part, the why. What's the engine behind all this crazy growth? Well, it boils down to two letters, AI. And you don't even have to take my word for it. The CEO, Sundar Pichai, came right out and said it. He pointed straight at the company's full-stack approach to AI as the source of all this strong momentum. And this is so important. This isn't just buzz or hype. We're talking about real money, real contracts. Right now, Google Cloud is sitting on a backlog of $155 billion in customer deals. That's future revenue that's already in the bag, all thanks to this demand. So what's driving that huge backlog? Well, it's a few things. You've got big companies lining up for Google's AI infrastructure. They're jumping all over the Vertex AI platform to build their own stuff. And they're using Google's own custom hardware, these things called TPUs, to make it all run faster. And on the consumer side, the Gemini app is just exploding, now with over 650 million people using it every month. All right, so when you're making this kind of money, what do you do with it? Well, Alphabet isn't just sitting on it. They are doubling down, and they're betting big on the future. So they basically updated their spending plans for the year, and they increased them a lot. They're now planning to spend somewhere between $91 and $93 billion. That's a massive increase, and it's a huge signal that they expect this growth to just keep accelerating. And here's the key. They're not just spending money for the sake of it. It's all going straight into their technical infrastructure. We're talking about building more data centers, beefing up their AI capabilities, basically pouring fuel on the fire to meet all this incredible demand. Okay, so we have record-breaking profits on one side and a huge spending spree on the other. How did Wall Street take all this news? And what does it all mean when you look at the bigger picture with all the competition out there? Well, to put it simply, they loved it. The stock jumped over 5% in after-hours trading as soon as the news hit. That's a huge thumbs up from the market. But it's not all smooth sailing. Right as they're celebrating this massive win, a new challenger is stepping into the ring. You've got OpenAI's Atlas browser, which is backed by Microsoft, and it's designed to go right after Google's crown jewel, its search business. So this all leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. You have Alphabet, which is growing like crazy, but its stock is actually valued lower than a lot of its big tech rivals. So with all these threats on the horizon, but with this undeniable performance, is Google the smartest bet in tech right now? That's the big question, isn't it? And it's one that's going to define the next chapter for the company. If you want to keep up with this story and get more deep dives just like this one, make sure to subscribe to the Technical Writing Success newsletter and join the Technical Writing Success group on LinkedIn. They're both run by Kurt Robbins. Thanks so much for watching.